I like myself so much more as a mom than I did before I was a mom. It's very common for like girls to feel like that, to be the girl. I just can't believe that I get another like precious little being that I get to love on. Most precious thing in the entire world. Incredible. Have another one, like multiples. I'm like, my brain's exploding, my heart's exploding. So sweet, like having your baby inside of you, like you're carrying your baby. I get stressed out, I like get mean. He calls my ass out, thankfully, because like sometimes I like need to be checked. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna pull this, oh hello, hair up. Canning drops, and I always get questions on these, so I'm just gonna walk through how I make them. I literally just make them with water and my like Loving Tan. I just mix them in like an old container, and if you don't mix them with water, it like gets really clumpy on the face, so you have to mix it like probably half and half water. Once it develops, it gives that same glow like under your makeup, but this is like a good daily because then the water just kind of rinses off by the end of the day, and it doesn't really tan your face like that dark. So I just love it for under makeup. It's great. What motivates you to be productive? Any tips? And since becoming a mom, I've always placed like a lot of priority on productivity. Like my mom, literally, talk about learned behavior. Like that woman does not sit still. Like she goes and goes, and I definitely adapted that behavior, and I don't think it's healthy. Like I really don't. But I think like a lot of women are like that. And it's like a lot of times, even just American culture, I think we think like our productivity equals like our worth a little bit, and I do think there's a balance with that. So I will say, since I've become a mom, I place less of a value on productivity, and it's more like I value more like, you know, time spent with my kids, my kid or my husband, like that really like quality family time. And I feel like productivity is like used to be more of a priority for me, but now I'm like, no, it's like not always worth it to, it's like chilled me out a little bit, which is so beautiful, I think, because it's way more fulfilling to like connect with your family and with people than to be productive. On the other hand, there's also a fine line with like not being responsible and like lacking motivation, and that's where I tried to really find a good balance. And sometimes you just gotta like relax and just chill out, because it literally recharges you, and that's been one of the best things motherhood has taught me, is just like how to balance out my life a little bit more, like taking rest when I need it, and then also producing when I need it. Because like, as you know, as a mom, we just have like a lot of responsibilities, like, you know, depending on how you divide up the roles in your house. Like I do most of the like grocery shopping and cooking and scheduling and stuff like that. So you still want to be productive in your responsibilities, make sure like everyone is fed and taken care of and the house is like taken care of and stuff like that. I feel like some days when I'm feeling like really unmotivated, I would put it in the same category as like a workout. It's like you always feel better after a workout, and if you can reframe it into thinking like, this is me like creating my dream life, and I'm just that's what I'm doing, I think that helps with the productivity, because it's like, you know, you're creating like a beautiful world around you versus punishing yourself for being like, I haven't done anything. Does that make sense? So my Instacart order just started, and like I didn't have time to go to the grocery store today because I'm filming this during nap time, and I knew it was either film this video or go to the store. I wasn't gonna be able to get both done, and so I did Instacart instead. And I just hate doing Instacart because I just like, I would rather shop myself because I hate all the replacements, and so I know I'm about to get blown up. Okay, I'm seeing a few questions on vitamins I'm taking during pregnancy and prenatals. I actually was just vlogging recently and I showed my prenatals because I was like, I don't think I have, but I'm taking Ritual this time around and love them. Not sponsored, I don't have a code or anything. I wish, I can try to get one. But they're like lemon flavored, so if you get like nausea or just like stuff comes up, it's the best. They are so good. You can put them on like auto ship, so like it just charges my card and it resends. They've been so great. I'll probably take them again next pregnancy. Just easy, great, love it, whatever. Also, of course, taking Seed. So I just wanted to thank them today for sponsoring this little Q&A. They are like our tried and true. I take this every morning. It's my daily symbiotic. So it's a prebiotic and a probiotic combined. And this is just a beautiful thing for your gut health. If you're not on a probiotic, ask any doctor about it. Even like my OB has been like, are you on a probiotic? Like, it's good for during pregnancy. I take this pregnant and breastfeeding. The gut is just like the center of your health. In our daily American diet, I don't know if we get like enough nutrients for a really healthy gut microbiome, and especially like a lot of the foods that we eat growing up here, just classic American diet, are not nutrient dense enough to like have a really amazing gut system. So this can really help build good bacteria in your gut microbiome. So I've been taking this for a few years now, a little bit on and off depending on like if I've taken antibiotics recently or I feel like it's good or balanced, I'll like peel off or put back on, just depending. But if you've never been on one before, it's amazing. It will just help you stay regular, de-bloated, and you will probably like recognize that you can eat a lot more foods that you weren't previously able to eat if you have like a sensitive system. I know it's really helped Hunter in that way a lot. I'm not quite as sensitive as him, but it's helped me in other ways. So for one, just like regularity, that's like my biggest one. So I always have a code with them. It's my favorite. I'm still taking it while I'm pregnant, and it's my baby. So if you're looking for a good probiotic, this one is so good, you guys. JH25 is always our code, and you can find that down below. Someone asked, how do you get back to being yourself after becoming a mom? It says I'm not a mom yet. Okay, interesting question, because I feel like motherhood has been the craziest journey in terms of like identity change and finding myself and stuff like that. The most impactful one for sure. I don't think it's really about coming back to yourself. I think it's like really about finding a new version of you, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, I like myself so much more as a mom than I did before I was a mom. Like, the confidence, I don't know what it is. I truly believe like having children is like a biological thing that, I mean, if you just look at it, I don't know if you're faith-based, if you, whatever you believe in, you're atheist, literally anything. I feel like it's like in science, like literally like when you look at animals, like they are meant to reproduce, like have babies, and I feel like it's the same thing for humans. And there's just something about it that feels so right and so human and like in your purpose, just the most beautiful, like grounding experience ever. It just feels, I've never felt anything that has felt more like true and real in my life than becoming a mom and like having a family. It is the best thing I've ever done. So I would say in terms of that, like I don't even think of myself of the version I was before, and I'm like kind of like, oh god, like who was that? It's like sort of like you're like, wow, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I just think that you won't even think about the old version of yourself. Like, you will just grow and expand, and like there's just so much depth that comes out of becoming a mother. It is the coolest, just like most connected feeling to the planet I've ever felt, and just so in my zone and like true. It is like nothing you've ever felt before. It's incredible. Does it come with challenges? Of course, but like anything that's cool that you do is gonna have some challenges. It's so beautiful, and it's the best experience in the world. That's all I can say. Someone said, how do you feel about diving completely into a life with 2 babies? Also, just like, how do you feel about becoming like a second-time mom in a few months? So I'm literally probably 3.5 months away from giving birth to my second baby, number 2, my second baby boy. And honestly, I could not be more excited. I feel like at first, and I feel like this every time that I have gotten pregnant, like I'm a little nervous at first. I think it's just like an intimidating thing. And I think that's pretty common. Like everyone I talk to, or even people that haven't had kids yet, are like, I'm so scared. And I was like, I was literally so scared too. I was terrified. And it's ended up being like the most like beautiful thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And it is so cool and so special and so fun. So for a second baby, I just honestly can't even believe it. I'm like, I am so excited, you guys. Like it's not, and I'm not saying that, I know like a lot of people, there's like a lot of hard realities about becoming a parent, and people say, oh my God, it's so hard. But I feel like the beauty of the experience and like the love that you experience is like, it just doesn't even compare to like the challenges of parenting, that it's like so worth it. Can't believe like having multiple kids and getting to become a mom of like a second kid is just, it is such a blessing, and I'm so excited, and I just can't believe that I get another like precious little being that I get to love on and like take care of and just experience and guide in the world. Like I feel so lucky to be able to do that, and I'm so excited. They are honestly like the most precious thing in the entire world. It is so special and incredible. So to have another one, like multiples, I'm like, my brain's exploding, my heart's exploding. I'm like, I'm so lucky. This is gonna be so cute. Like, am I scared shitless? Hell yeah, girl. It's gonna be hard. I know 2 kids. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. Like people are like, brace for impact. It's gonna be crazy. And I know it's gonna be hard. I know a lot of people like after 2 kids, they kind of chill out a little and they like slow down on the babies because it's hard. So I'm like fully expecting it to be difficult, but at the same time, I'm like, how freaking cool. Like I would not want to be doing anything else. Like hanging out with Smokey and having babies is my favorite thing in the world. And it's so fun. So I'm feeling all the things: scared, excited, intimidated. I know it's gonna feel really hard again and everything, but I cannot wait, and it's just gonna be so cute. And to get to see Smokey interact with a sibling, like freaking kill me. It's gonna be so cute. And I just like love this phase of life. I've never been like, I was always like, I feel like I was like well-balanced person in my like adulthood. I was never like a huge partier though. Like I always like drank, and like I wasn't like square or anything by any means. Like I would go out and stuff, but I never loved it. Like I wasn't the girl that like went out a ton. Wasn't really my thing. Like I always kind of have been a little bit more of a mellow person, and I love to like socialize and hang out, but I'm not necessarily like a huge partier. Like I don't really like doing like a lot of drugs. I've like smoked weed and like tried like a few things that which I've covered in other Q&As. More about like, okay, like spiritual experiences and stuff like that. But no, I like love family mom life. It's just, I feel like it suits like my desires more. I love just like being at home and cooking, like going to the movies. I like hanging out with other families. I love everything about it. Even like this past Saturday night, Hunter, Smokey, and I, we just had the most mellow Saturday. We just hung out in the living room like all night. We went and got takeout, and we came home, and I was like, this is so fun. Like this is just what I dream of. And I don't know, I really like it. So do you guys have any help at home, like a nanny or in-laws, etc.? I feel like if you watch our YouTube channel, like we vlog every week our daily life. We like show everything, so you get a little bit more better of an idea of like how we operate everything. But we do not live near any family. We have no family in Tennessee. We live in Nashville, so we have a nanny, and that is literally the only person that we get help from. So any help we're getting, we are paying for it, but we literally love our nanny so much. Smoke is obsessed with her. She's been with us since he's been like 6 months old. So it's like having basically another family member around. Like he's so comfortable with her. He doesn't like cry when we have to leave, or when he sees her, like he lights up when she walks in the room. So that makes me so happy. The way we found her is actually through a family friend who lives here, that I know through one of my best friends. She had this nanny for 5 years with her 2 boys, and her boys were finally like old enough where they were going off to preschool and like daycare and stuff, and she was like, I like literally were so sad to let her go, but like I want to find her a good family. And this was literally like right when Smoke was being born. We had like somehow crossed paths, talked about it, and she was like, she's so good. So that's how I found her, just like word of mouth, and I feel really lucky about that because she's been awesome and she just fit in right away. I like it because she's a little bit older. She's like 60, in her 60s probably, which has its like pluses and minuses. Like I've had like some younger girls around that have helped with like babysitting and stuff, and I do like having younger people because they have so much energy, and they like, I feel like my younger girls would like take Smoke to the park and like get out a lot, and they're just so active. But our nanny, for like a daily basis, like she is just like the most like nurturing older woman, like so compassionate and calm and patient and so engaging with him, like plays with him, sings to him, dances with him. Like it is so sweet to see. And I think she's like has a really like just true gift with like how nurturing she is with kids and stuff. So she also is from Mexico, so she speaks Spanish with Smokey, so he understands Spanish like pretty much fluently. Like she pretty much exclusively talks to him in Spanish, which is really cool. I don't know how Hunter and I are gonna keep that up when we don't have her anymore eventually, but we'll figure that out. But so some words he says just like completely in Spanish, and then some in English. How am I doing? That is a nice question. I'm doing really well, I feel like. I'm hanging in there. I do feel like I feel kind of back to like the motherhood thing and everything the past year or two. I feel like I'm in my best phase of life ever. Like I feel like I'm just getting closer and closer to like the truest version of myself, and I'm definitely not there yet, but it's just, I'm changing a lot as being a mom and like finding the more real authentic version of who I am, and like kind of shedding a lot of the bullshit of like things I adapted in my 20s or like younger years of like feeling like, oh, how can I fit in, or how can I be accepted by everybody, and sort of like leaving a lot of that behind and really coming into like my own true confidence of just being uniquely me, and becoming a mom has like helped me do that so much. It's sort of like, I was explaining to a friend the other day, I was like, it's sort of like an unbecoming of all of the things that we like pick up along the way when we grow up, like, you know, oh, I need to change this about myself to fit in, or I want people to like me, or this person to love me, so I change and change and change to mold to everybody. And right now I finally feel like I'm in like a stripping of that, just like stripping off all the bullshit and really just like kind of uncovering like who I am at my core in a really authentic and like true way. And that just feels so good, but it's definitely a process. I also, I know I've talked about like my dad that has been going through cancer for the past, gosh, I guess it's been like a year and a half now. He is battling throat cancer for the 2nd time, and it's not going well. We just got some like kind of bad results that the cancer is not getting better and it's spreading. So in terms of that, I've been in a little bit of a fragile state, just like if you guys have ever had a sick family member and it's like a parent, it's obviously just really emotionally overwhelming, and oh my god, I can't get emotional, but it's also really taxing on your family unit. Like everybody feels the stress like in different ways. It's I mean, of course, like a huge deal for my mom. If anything were to happen to my dad, like she's thinking about her entire life and how what is she going to do, like being alone, and you know, it affects everyone differently. Everyone's sad, they're stressed, they're trying to figure it out, we're trying to be there, like it's so much. So that's definitely been hard, but again, it's a life experience. It's what I'm going through right now. That's been really hard, and I feel bad. Hunter's been really supportive in that, but I definitely can feel myself like it causes stress on me where like, and I don't know, everyone like handles their stress differently, but when I get stressed out, I like get mean. And that's like, I mean, and a lot of people, I get like, when someone's like bitchy or like mean, you're like, what's wrong with you? That is like how I know that I'm stressed, is like I get mean, and I'm mean to like Hunter. I take it out on him, the poor thing, and he calls my ass out, thankfully, because like sometimes I like need to be checked. But yeah, I just get like snappy, short, and I can just feel the tension. And especially like every time that like, something comes up with my dad, like we get a piece of news or something, I just feel myself like spiraling into angry juge, and I'm like, I can't do that. So I'm actually in a way thankful, because I'm like learning a lot about myself and like how I handle stress and stuff like that. I guess that's like one piece of silver lining, but yeah, TBD guys, it's really sad. Someone said caviar or lambskin Chanel. That's such a fun question. I like both, honestly. They're just different. The thing about the caviar is it's so durable. It doesn't show like scratches or stains or wear as much, so I really like it for that reason. But lambskin is just like buttery and beautiful and delicate, so I think I probably prefer the lambskin, but for practicality, caviar. Okay, lots of questions on like finding your personal style evolution, everything. Everyone's like, oh, your style has changed so much since like the Texas days. So I started doing social media when I lived back in Texas. If you've been around here for a while, then you would know that. By the way, I'm done with my makeup, so I'm just we're just gonna chat. I don't know, I've always been someone that's just loved style since I was young, and I just really like playing with clothes is like a creative outlet for me. Like I think it's so fun, and it doesn't like intimidate me at all. Like it comes naturally and I like it. But I do think like with that, there's just a lot of trial and error. Like Texas, I feel like was very true to like my style at the time, like my original style. I was very like still at the beginning of like my social media career. I was just dressing whatever I wanted to. I was young. It was cute. And then I think along the way I got a little bit caught up in like trends and feeling like I needed to like fit a certain image or be like an it girl or something like that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think it's very common for like girls to feel like that. Like you have to be the girl, like, you know, and I just like, when I look back on that, I'm like sad. I'm like, oh my god, that's like Juge in her original, like, you know, style is just so much better than like, nope, like the it girl. I know it's like people love that and they want to be it, but it's so not the vibe, you guys. Like being yourself is so much cooler. And I've always known that, but I think I was, you know, going through a time and I had to have my journey, and I'm dialing back in to like finding me. Again, we're stripping, you guys. Part of like living life, when I'm realizing, is like the journey is like exploring the unknown of everything. So like if you haven't experienced something, you're gonna want it and you're gonna be curious. So it's like, what does it feel like to dress like that? Oh, well, I want to be that girl, so I want to like feel what that feels like. You try it and then you're like, wait, doesn't feel like me. Okay, oh, now I'm gonna like try this direction. And you just like constantly everything is like trial and error. You're trying things on, you're adjusting, you're seeing how it feels, and that's just part of like exploring who you are and part of the process of like finding yourself. So I definitely feel like I've had different like style phases. Right now, I think everyone, like when you become a mom, like I'm kind of having to simplify my style a little bit. So it used to be a little bit more eclectic. I feel like louder, and I'm having to just like kind of go back to the basics, like capsule wardrobe kind of, but still like with my own flair. But I feel like basics are just, I'm just finding that they are like the thing that I grab for when I am a mom, and I feel the best in them, and they're just tried and true. But then how do I like, you know, accessorize and play with like bags and shoes and certain fits, like the way things fit me, to make them feel more me. So definitely also finding like, I'm definitely more casual these days. Everything's super, and I've always had like a casual, comfy style. So I think it's just like really getting back to that. But a lot of sneakers, a lot of athleisure, a lot of like baggy jeans, and just like really chill stuff. Not like a lot of structured, fitted. That's not it right now for me. Pregnancy different from Smokies. PS, love your channel. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Okay, this pregnancy has actually been pretty similar now that I have like more perspective. It's been pretty similar to my pregnancy with Smoke, but I will say I was way more sick with this baby boy in my first trimester. The first trimester, you guys, it freaking rocked my world. I was like, I don't know if I can do this again. I told Hunter, I was like, I don't know if I can have a third kid, because this is literally like, I felt like I was dying for 3 months. That's how sick I was. And it was so hard. But once my nausea went away, like, and same with Smokey, and that pregnancy, I was really sick with him. Once it lifts, then I'm like, this is a breeze. I can do this whenever. Like, I can deal with like back pain. I can be big and uncomfortable. Like, that stuff doesn't like, I don't whine about that stuff, but what I do whine about is being nauseous, and that I've never complained more in my life. Like, I am like, woe is me, I am sick, and there is nothing like pregnancy nausea. If you've had it, you just know it is terrible, and it really, you feel like you're dying. So yeah, but this time around, it's definitely like, I'm like, okay, I feel like pregnancy is like a little bit harder. Definitely your second time. I can't imagine even the third. And I think it's just because you have more going on in your life, with like other kids already being around. And once you have kids, it just gets really hard to balance your life in all categories. It's more challenging in that way, but you know, you're doing it, and it's like, it's also very empowering, because you're like, if I can get through this, like, I feel like my bandwidth, every experience of pregnancy and every kid and everything, like, you just stretch and you grow more, and that is like the biggest beauty in this whole experience. Like, yes, it's hard, but it's like incredible, and you're like literally just forming yourself into like a bigger, better, literally bigger, better version of you, and just getting like stronger mentally, everything. So that's really cool. Okay, someone said, what is the interior design vibe for the cabin going to be, and where are you pulling inspo from? It's basically like Hunter and I's dream style. I would say it's very like rustic and natural. You know, we wanted to keep the integrity of like the origins of what a cabin is. It's a lot of wood, it's a lot of stone, it's a lot of like materials you would see on a cabin, but doing it in like a fresh and modern way that feels a little bit more updated. So we're doing like a lot of like wood details on ceilings, like wood beams, a lot of stone. Favorite interior designer is Amber Interiors. She is probably like the closest to what I prefer in like interior style. So if you're into interiors, you can look up her work. She's so good, and she's a California girl, maybe that's why, but lots of natural materials, and I just really love everything she does. So she's like my biggest inspo. I've pulled a lot of inspo from her work for this project, and then also like old European homes. I feel like that is just our favorite place to look for inspiration. Someone also asked about, could I share more home decor of my current home, and I feel like I've shared pretty much everything on our journey on YouTube. I also have a highlight on my Instagram that is titled like home decor or townhouse, and we have all of like our current stuff under there, like paint colors and furniture and drapes and all that stuff. Oh, someone asked if I'm nervous for birth now, knowing like what I'm in for, and I would say no, like I'm way less nervous now that I know what the experience is. It's really not that bad. It's intense, but like you get through it. And also like I'm not going unmedicated or anything, so I feel like if I was going unmedicated I'd be terrified, but I'm not trying to do that. So, and I think just what made me so nervous about the first time was the unknown. Like I just didn't know what to expect, and now I have so much more like reference point based on what happened. I know every birth is different, but I'm still like, the nerves are always there because it's just like anything can go down and you have no idea, and it's just like, it's intense, and you just want to make sure everyone's safe and nothing goes wrong, and it's just high pressure, high stakes, like safety, and it's your baby, and it's just so loaded. So a little nervous always, but definitely less nervous than the first time around. Okay, how am I feeling about my pregnancy body the second time around? You're so cute. That's really sweet. I don't know. I feel like I almost, like the first time I was so nervous about like, oh my god, I'm gonna like, you know, not feel myself, and I'm gonna feel like not cute, and I was nervous about gaining weight and everything, and it just like was like holding it with a tight grip so hard. And then after going through it, I was like, okay, this is not bad at all, like it's just part of the journey and it's really beautiful and whatever. This time around I was kind of like, oh, it's just like, it's definitely tougher on me. Like I'm like, I'm not like loving being pregnant as much this time. But again, like I hate saying that because like every time I look back, I'm like, oh, that's such a like wholesome, incredible experience. Like I just need to enjoy it. But I do like wish sometimes I could like wear more things, and like it is just limiting in that way, but it's so temporary too. I'm like, gosh, like don't be so vain and just enjoy the experience. Obviously like I love clothes and I love fashion and beauty and looking cute and stuff like that, but I definitely know that that is not all that matters in life. And at a certain level, like you're kind of just like, come on, like this is, you gotta let it go. Like it's not all that matters, and like carrying a baby is just way more beautiful than any of that stuff could be worth to me. So I check myself all the time, but yeah, I'm like maybe enjoying it like a little bit less this time. And then like last time I gave birth, I was like, oh my god, but like it's so sweet like having your baby inside of you, like you're carrying your baby around with you forever, like the closeness, oh, it's just so cool. Best workout sneakers. Oh, I don't know, I've really expanded. I love the Nike Metcons so much. Those were my go-to sneakers for years, but I'm really just liking like all types of sneakers right now. These are my favorite right now. These are from New Balance. I just love the way that they look. They're really comfortable. I walk in them, I train in them, I do literally whatever in them, and they just look a little bit more like fashionable. They're not quite as just like straight up workout. Like I love them for athleisure too. So I don't know, I'm like not that picky with workout shoes unless you're like running or like doing a really specific type of training. I feel like it's not like that serious. New mom, realistically, how many hours, minutes a day do you get to yourself? Oh girl, not many. I would say, so you get like, okay, well for me, if I'm like don't have help and it's just like I'm full parent mode, this would be like nap time is like the only time that I would have to, it's not even necessary for myself, it's like to get things done, like film or work or cook dinner, prep dinner, put away clothes, laundry, whatever. So me time, I would say it's like maybe like an hour a day. Like you get that at night, like when you're like to scroll or to like mentally just like check out and like watch a show or something like that. It's really not like a lot of time, but you kind of like get used to it. And I've gotten better and better about like trying to carve out time like that for myself, like I can tell when I need it. I start to get really irritable, and I'm like, okay, I need to go do something, and like either have like Hunter stay with Smokey, or you know, have somebody cover so I can really just like go be by myself and like do something that I enjoy. Advice for new influencers starting from zero. What's your advice to grow? Okay, I'm gonna end on this one, but I was just talking about this because I was on a brand trip with some girls, and we were just saying like we all get asked this question because we do social media, so people ask all the time like, how do you grow, how do you do it? Okay, and we all have the same answer, and this is the honest truth. It is a hustle, you guys. Like, it is, and I'm not even saying that in a way to like praise people that do social media. Like, it is so hard, we work so hard. No. I'm just trying to like tell you what it's gonna take if you want to get there. And it's like blood, sweat, and tears, okay? And I think that's really for like building any sort of business or career. And what I tell everyone at the beginning, I'm like, you need to post so much. I'm talking multiple times a day on whatever platform you're honing in on. I'm like, post 1,000 times until you see it start to work. Like, you will find something in there that will work, and it's trial and error again, like trying all different types of content, testing. It's just seeing like what people receive, what they're interested in, like what is going to help you grow, what you enjoy posting. I mean, it's like the ultimate exploration of like who you are and just having fun with it. But you have to be so consistent, and you have to try really hard. I think when I started, I was posting 5 days a week. Well, honestly, I wouldn't get off of Instagram. I was on there 7 days a week, all day, every day on stories. I was posting in feed like 2 times per day, maybe more. And it evolves as like the platforms have changed and like video becomes more popular and blah, blah, blah. But if you're starting, I would be posting multiple times a day across every platform and being on stories. And it's a lot. Like, you, especially if you're doing it on the side of something. Like, I worked a full-time job and I had no life. Like, I recorded videos on the weekends, like YouTube videos. I didn't, like, you definitely sacrifice a lot of your free time in order to put more time into like, you know, the thing that you want. Go. There's no one formula. Everyone grows for different reasons, and you literally won't know what yours is until you find it. So you just have to try a bunch of stuff until you figure out what it is. And also with that, one really encouraging thing that one of the girls said that was so sweet, she's like, I feel like the difference is too with like people that have been successful and stuff is that they just never gave up. And I think that is the most true statement ever. Like, you just have to keep going. I mean, I don't think I made this a job until 2.5, maybe 3 years into posting content, you guys. And people, they don't see that like part of it when you're, you know, putting in their reps like every day, just like getting after it. It's like just putting in the workouts. It's like post the content day in, day out. It's about the long-term play. And if you really want it, like, you will do it, and it will totally happen for you. There is plenty of space on the internet. It's just finding like what yours is, and you just have to want it bad enough, and you got to keep going. And eventually, if you don't give up, like, you will find your spot, and I promise you will have success if it's if you put in like the effort behind it. Good luck with that. I love when people go for it. I think it's so cool, and that everyone, if you want it bad enough, you should do it. Out of breath, and I'm so hungry, so I need to get food. What's new? I love you guys so much. Let's do more of these soon. We'll catch up again. Love you. And Smokey just woke up from his nap, so perfect. Gotta go. Bye. Show me where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.